Thank you very much, Chrissy, and also thanks to Scott for these very kind words in that previous presentation. It does give me great pleasure to be able to present the Azure Minerals story and the discovery of the Andover lithium deposit. It's a one of a kind. It's quite remarkable, and I'll probably use that word many times during this presentation. But it is an incredible discovery, and I'll take you through some of the history of that now and what it looks like, and where to from here. The usual disclaimer and statements, which can be found on the presentation and on our website. So, as Scott just mentioned, Azure Minerals is in the process of a change of control transaction with a joint venture bid by SQM, Chile's largest lithium producer, and also Gina Reinhardt's Hancock Prospecting. As you can see there, both of them have very large shareholdings in Azure at this stage. And the change of control transaction is a two-stage process. Initially, there's a scheme of arrangement at a price of $3.70. And if that doesn't succeed, then it will go to an off-market takeover at a price of $3.65. The shareholders meeting for the scheme of arrangement to vote on that is just under 2 weeks' time, so we'll be finding out very soon as to how successful the change of control is going to be. But at this stage, it is certainly looking very positive. So that share price there of $3.70 gives Azure a market cap of about $1.7 billion. And 12 months ago, when I stood up here, we had a market cap of under $100 million. So it's a huge uplift in terms of the value of the company. And as Scott mentioned, it's well over a 10-bagger, which is once again quite remarkable. And it's all about the Andover project. And Andover is a joint venture between Azure and Mark Creasy and his group. It's a 60-40 joint venture. We own 60%, and Mark Creasy is free carried through to the decision to mine for his 40%. The Andover project itself is obviously lithium is the main target out there at the moment, but we actually picked the project up 4 years ago for its nickel, copper, cobalt potential. We did discover 2 nickel deposits in the first 2 years, and then more recently it's the discovery of the lithium that's been the absolute game changer. So just take you through what the project is at the moment. It's located in the northwestern part of Western Australia, so it's in the iron ore mining districts of Western Australia. It's, as it says there, it's a heavily industrialised location with all of the infrastructure you could possibly want for mining and processing operations. So our project is 108 square kilometres. It's shown on the slide there as that blue outline. In that project area, we have high voltage power lines crossing it, gas pipeline, water pipeline. Just on the left-hand side to the west of it is a Rio Tinto railway line. To the south of us are all Rio Tinto's iron ore mining operations, and at the coastline at the top end is their iron ore exporting ports and facilities there. Offshore there's Chevron and Woodside with all of their oil and gas production facilities, and then onshore on the Burrup Peninsula in the top left-hand corner is the LNG processing and export facilities. So this is an area where there is an incredible amount of infrastructure already in place, and for the Andover lithium project, it's a very, very valuable location. So if we zoom in a little bit into the project area itself, once again the blue outline shows the 3 exploration licences, which total 108 square kilometres. Just to the north of us, we've got the town of Roebourne, which has a population of about 2,000 people, and that's where all our operations are based, so only 3 or 4 kilometres outside of the project area. There's a main highway that runs through Roebourne and then through the northern and eastern part of our project area, and then off that we have a lot of roads and tracks through there. Those red shapes that you can see on there, they are the actual outcropping pegmatites that host in lithium mineralisation, and they're in a swarm it's like basically a triangular wedge, and all of the pegmatites are hosted within that triangular wedge. So it's about 9 kilometres east-west by up to 5 kilometres north-south. The areas which we've really focused on are those 3 white boxes, target areas 1, 2 and 3. Very clever names that we put on those, but those are the 3 areas where we've really focused our exploration up till now, and particularly areas target 1 and target area 3 are the 2 target areas which have really demonstrated substantial amounts of lithium mineralisation within there. So we started drilling in March of last year. That's when we put the first drill holes into there. We've drilled now nearly 400 diamond and RC drill holes into the area for getting close to 120,000 metres of drilling in 1 year. It's a remarkable and incredible achievement for the exploration team to have defined that. And yet with all of that work, we've probably only tested maybe 40% of the targets which are in that area. So the potential here to grow that lithium deposit above and beyond what we've already discovered is there and available for us. Now if we zoom in a little bit into target area number 1, this was the first area we went in there and started drilling on 12 months ago. There's this swarm of pegmatites which are shown there in red, along with all the drill holes. That batch of drilling that we've done in there extends over a strike length of about 2.2 kilometres, and it's lithium mineralisation from bottom left from the southwest all the way up to the northeast, and the mineralisation remains open in those two directions. It also remains open down as you go deeper towards the north. The main pegmatite, the main mineralised body in this area is what we call pegmatite AP11, and AP11 is just one very large mineralised body, a lot of lithium mineralisation in that pegmatite. True widths up to 140 metres wide, which is unheard of elsewhere in the world. Good, really stood high-grade lithium grades in there as well. And it starts at surface and it goes all the way down to at least 500 metres vertically below surface on an angle. And we look at one of the cross sections, you can see there that the AP11 pegmatite is that really big red shape that's on there. The width of that mineralisation is very substantial, and as I said, it is probably one of the only ones in the world that are like this. Mineralisation starts at surface, goes down to, and it still is extending well beyond 500 metres below surface. And these are some of the drill hole intersections that we've been releasing over the last 6 to 9 months since the assays first started coming in. And you can see on the right-hand side, the right-hand column there, that is the true width. So that is how wide that body of mineralisation is in actual true width. And all of those intersections are well over 100 metres in width. And there is no other lithium deposit in Australia or around the world, with the exception of one in the DRC in Africa, which has been getting that many plus 100 metre true width intersections. This is one of a kind. And the other target area 3, which we've also been doing a lot of work on, a lot of drilling in there. This is slightly different. This is multiple pegmatites all stacked on top of each other. And those pegmatites are consistently in the range of 30 to 40 metres of true width. And the grade is slightly higher here than it is in that target area number 1. Once again, the drilling has demonstrated the mineralisation extends over 2 kilometres long from southwest to northeast, and it extends from surface to over 400 to 500 metres below surface as well. So there's a lot more mineralisation in here. So those two targets, numbers 1 and 3, are the guts of the whole lithium deposit within the Andover project. And this is a cross-section that shows some of those multiple stacked pegmatites. And here, the true widths are all in that sort of 30 to 40 metres in true width and consistent. And those mineralised pegmatites that contain the lithium are just like train tracks. Over that 2 kilometre strike length, they just are parallel to each other and they extend consistently and with really good continuity throughout them. So the areas, these two deposits are very, very large, and that's what has generated the exploration target. Now, we publicised this exploration target in August of last year to give the market an indication as to how big the potential was for Andover to host this the lithium mineralisation. And those are those 3 areas, the target areas 1, 2 and 3, which make up this number of 100 million tonnes up to 240 million tonnes. If the combined mineral resource is 100 million tonnes, that would put it about number 11 or number 12 in the world in terms of size. If it's at the upper end of the exploration target range and it gets close to 240 million tonnes, it would make it number 4 in the world in terms of size. So this is potential to be absolutely huge. And so where do we go to from here? Well, the exploration target is out there, it's public, people understand that that is the potential size of the mineralised bodies that we've got at Andover. But we also need to produce a mineral resource estimate. Initially, that was going to be in the first couple of months of this year, but we've kept on drilling and drilling and drilling, and we keep hitting more and more lithium mineralisation. So we've extended the time to do that initial mineral resource estimate out into the middle of this year. And we could still keep on going because we are still drilling and we are still hitting more and more lithium. So that initial maiden mineral resource estimate, middle of this year, scoping study should be completed by the end of this year. That includes not just the resource estimate, but your mining studies, metallurgical studies, process engineering, environment, heritage, community, all of those components that go towards that scoping study. And the intention is to have that finished by the end of this year. And then it will be done at a very high level, so at a very solid level. So that will be an easy step to go from the scoping study into the pre-feasibility study to a feasibility study, get those development studies underway and advance the project as quickly as we can. And that's certainly the intention of the two bidders for the company, SQM and Hancock, as they would both like to see the project being accelerated as much as possible. So here's the timeline of what's happened in the past 12 months since I stood up here and we talked to them. All we had at that stage was we had a few rock chip samples with high lithium grades within it. So it was basic grassroots exploration at that stage. And you can see in green on the left-hand side there, that's where the Future Facing Commodities Conference was held last year. And the share price when we came here was 33 cents. 3 days later, it was 43 cents, and there were some people in the audience who had bought shares in that time, and they were very, very happy. Came up and saw me on the last afternoon and basically said thank you very much. I don't know if they held on, but certainly the share price has gone up a lot since then. So as you go through that timeline, you're looking at the discovery, then at the confirmation of the potential size of the project, of the deposit with the exploration target, and then the various takeover offers or expressions of interest for change of control transactions were coming through from SQM, and then more recently from the combined bid of SQM plus Hancock. And you can see the share price has gone all the way up to $3.70, and this is a similar slide to what Scott just showed us earlier. Basically, it's a 10 or 11 bagger. It's gone from 30 odd cents to $3.65 trading today. And if you, for example, had last year invested $10,000 in Azure at this conference, today that $10,000 will be worth about $112,000. So significant uplift in the valuation of the company, and a significant potential for doing very well for the investors. And I will reiterate what Scott said earlier, is that Azure Minerals is an example of what you can achieve if you invest in the right company. We're very fortunate, obviously, that this has all come off. Out there, next door, there are a lot of other companies. Now, one or two of them may also go like that for the next 12 months. So it's just a matter of an opportunity for you to get out there, talk to the executives and the management of those teams, of those companies, and choosing the right one, and hopefully it will go on and be another big winner for you all. So this is just something that just talk very briefly about. We could not have made this discovery if we didn't have, firstly, the vision to actually see the potential out there, and then sell that vision to the board of directors and have the board support us to be able to take the project through all the exploration stage and into the development stage. And that support is in so many different ways. It's not just financial, but that's an important part of it as well. And then implementing the strategies. So it's all very well to have a vision, but how do you find whether that vision is true or not? So you've got to implement some strategies that are going to achieve it, which we were able to do successfully. And we were also had pulled together all of the other components that you need. So we got the right team, we gave them the right tools and the right budgets. We told them, or helped them decide which way to go in terms of their exploration and the discovery. And then you just need that perseverance over and over and over again. And probably more than anything else, timing. It just needs good timing. Bring all of those things together, and if the mineral is in the ground, then you've got the luck, and everything comes off very nicely. So, ladies and gentlemen, this will be my last presentation for Azure Minerals. If the takeover is successful in 2 weeks' time, there'll be new controllers in charge of the company, and I'll just ride off into the sunset and having had a very, very rewarding career. And I thank you very much, everyone.